It was a threat once whispered in the shadows of palace corridors, a nuclear option considered too drastic, too final, to ever actually use. But tonight, that threat has taken a terrifying step toward reality. Our sources inside Westminster and the palace confirm a shocking, unprecedented motion is being drafted, a motion that would forever strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles. This isn't tabloid gossip. This is political and royal machinery grinding into motion. And the message to the couple in Montecito is brutally clear. You cannot keep the royal brand while you burn the royal house to the ground. Welcome to Royal Report 24/7. If you want to be at the forefront of the royal stories that change history, you're in exactly the right place. Before we dive into the explosive details of this political bombshell, make sure you're part of our community. Subscribe and tap that like button right now. Sharing this report is how we ensure the truth gets out. Now, let's pull back the curtain. The atmosphere in Montecito right now, according to those close to the couple, is one of sheer, unadulterated panic. For years, Harry and Meghan operated under an assumption that their titles, while controversial, were untouchable, a permanent part of their identity, and, crucially, their global commercial brand. But that assumption has just shattered. The drafting of this parliamentary motion, led by a coalition of backbench MPs with whispered support from figures close to the palace, changes everything. It moves the conflict from the front pages of the newspapers to the hallowed halls of Parliament, from a family spat to a matter of constitutional significance. And for Harry and Meghan, this isn't just about prestige. It's about the very foundation of their post-royal enterprise. Think about it. Their website, their charitable foundation, their Netflix series, even the name of their children. It all orbits around the word Sussex. Remove that gravitational center, and their entire commercial universe could spin into chaos. So why now? What was the final straw? Insiders point to a perfect storm of frustrations that has finally boiled over. First, the recent, relentless commercial rollout of Meghan's American Riviera orchard, which palace aides saw as the most blatant fusion yet of royal status and personal profit. Then, Harry's very public legal battles against the British government and press, which are viewed within the institution not as principled stands, but as continuous, aggressive attacks on the very structures that uphold the monarchy. But perhaps the deepest cut, the one that truly galvanized the old guard, was the perceived exploitation of the king's illness. Sources say a profound anger took root in royal circles when Harry's brief visit to his father was followed not by a period of quiet respect, but by a new wave of media narratives that seemed to leverage the family's private health crisis for public sympathy. It created a feeling of emotional blackmail, a sense that no vulnerability would be left unmonetized. The patience, we are told, has run out. The mechanism for this title removal is as cold as it is clever. It wouldn't be a royal decree from a furious father, which would look personal and petty. Instead, it would be an act of parliament, a sterile, legal process that distances the crown from the direct action. MPs would argue, as they are already preparing to do, that it is in the national interest to clarify that those who have voluntarily stepped back from royal duties and launched repeated, profitable criticisms of the state should not continue to hold a peerage of the realm. They will frame it as a matter of integrity, not revenge. This is the institution choosing to fight with law books instead of press releases, and it's a far more dangerous weapon. Harry and Meghan's team reportedly believed their greatest shield was public opinion, but they are now facing down the might of parliamentary procedure, and they have no allies in that chamber. Imagine the scene in California right now. The frantic calls between lawyers in London and publicists in Los Angeles. The real, stomach-dropping fear as they confront a scenario their US-based team never prepared for. This isn't a podcast critique or a snarky newspaper column. This is the UK Parliament potentially voting on their identity. Their brand, Archwell, is built on the archi, the Greek word for source of action. But what is its source if not the very title they may lose? The panic isn't just about a name. It's about an existential threat to the entire, carefully constructed Sussex ecosystem they have spent millions building. They're facing the ultimate contradiction. They build a global brand by leaving the monarchy, but that brand only has value because they were once of the monarchy. Remove that once, and what remains? The royal family itself will remain publicly silent, a portrait of dignified neutrality. But behind the scenes, the message is one of steely resolve. This is King Charles's slimmed-down monarchy in its most ruthless form. It is the ultimate pruning. By allowing, and even quietly encouraging, this parliamentary motion to gain steam, the palace is communicating that the era of half in, half out is irrevocably over. You are in, serving the crown, or you are out completely. There will be no more royal branding for your jam. There will be no more ducal crest to lend gravitas to your documentaries. The bridge, fragile as it was, is not just closed. The authorities are preparing to demolish it entirely. For us, the public, watching this unfold is like witnessing history written in real time. This is a feud that has moved from Oprah's couch to Netflix's servers and now, astonishingly, to the parliamentary order paper. It is a Shakespearean drama playing out with modern weapons, social media campaigns, and legislative amendments. The final act may not be a soliloquy, but a parliamentary vote. And for Harry and Meghan, the time for dramatic interviews and heartfelt statements may be over. They are now facing the cold, hard logic of the British Constitution, and it shows no mercy. This is the price of their truth. This is the consequence of their war. And as the gears of state begin to turn, one thing is terrifyingly clear. The titles they thought were theirs forever might just be counting down their final days. If you're captivated by this unprecedented moment where family drama meets constitutional crisis, you cannot look away. This story is accelerating by the hour. To make sure you don't miss a single development, stay with us here at Royal Report 24/7. Help our community grow. Subscribe, leave a like on this video, and share it with anyone who understands that the most compelling royal stories are the ones that rewrite the rules. The ground is shifting beneath the House of Sussex. We'll be here to report the quake.